Good evening. Today is August the 28th, 2024. I'm Jean Finstein, and this is our August tour for Friends of Wheeling, actually our second tour in August. We are at the Twin Springs Farm. Address is 1464 Stoolfire Road, and we're thrilled to be here this evening. This is one of the oldest properties that we have toured, so this is fun. Before we start, a couple announcements. First of all, we have two things going on next week. If you're on our mailing list, you will get something by email tomorrow. We will have a tour next Tuesday and a workshop next Saturday. And again, if you're on the mailing list, you will get that. Next Tuesday is 106 and a half 14th Street, and next Saturday is a workshop at Stone Church Cemetery. This is primarily focused on veterans' graves at Stone Church, and there will be experts there who can teach people how to properly clean a marker without damaging it, and also how to reset a marker. Now, it's any time between 10 and 3. You don't have to make a reservation, just show up. Go to church and then come, or come and then go to lunch, or whatever you want to do. So anytime between 10 and 3. You'll want to bring your own bug spray, and hopefully it'll be a little cooler today, and you'll be able to walk around and do some things without, dying of heat stroke or whatever. If you are not on our mailing list, you can still join Friends of Wheeling. It's a whopping $10 a year, and then you will get notices and be able to go to any of the tours that we have and our other activities. This also helps support our work at 722, 724 Main Street. If you drive through the alley of that, you will notice that just starting today, we're having 3 big trees taken out. So we're thrilled. That's something we've been wanting to do forever because they're pretty bad. So that's exciting. So with that, let me tell you a little bit of what I found. The owners probably know more than I do, but I'll leave this with them and I'll let them supplement in just a minute. It's been a bit of a challenge to trace the history here because unfortunately, or fortunately, they're kind of out in the country, and so there are no city directories. There are no Sanborn maps, which we use a lot, that show properties, and so we just kind of had to go by deeds. And being a farm area, properties were divided and added to over the years, which made it pretty tough. But this is what I think is true. The owners believe the house was built around 1821. Believe it or not, 1821. Now, deed records show that a Joseph Alexander purchased the property in the spring of 1822 from James and Elizabeth McCoy for $2,400. Nearly 9 years later, Joseph and Margaret Alexander sold it to Humphrey Boone for $4,400. So that increase in the value would suggest that perhaps the house was built sometime in that time frame between 1822 and 1829, especially when those deed records refer to 341 acres in both of them. So I don't know, that's kind of my assumption. Boone immediately sold it to James Pairson, and I've seen his name spelled 3 different ways: P-A-I-R-S-O-N, Peirson, P-E-I-R-S-O-N, and Peirson, P-E-A-R-S-O-N. Each of those transactions, as I say, mentioned 341 acres. Nothing else was found on those early owners. So I looked in old history books that include Ohio County, couldn't find anything. Tried to find things on Ancestry and find a grave and so forth, and was not successful. But the 1860 census does list a James Pairson, age 26, Valley Grove farmer, along with his wife Mary, 25, and their daughter Laura, who was 9 months old at the time. Now, he would have been too young to have been the Peirson who got the property before him, so perhaps he was a son of James Pairson, who purchased it in 1831. This younger James Pairson fought for the Union during the Civil War in Company D of the 12th West Virginia Infantry. The original James Pairson transferred the property in 1844 to John Pairson, perhaps another son. The name's kind of unusual, so, think somehow they're related. In the spring of 1880, Samuel and Jane Reed acquired the property from the heirs of John Pairson. David S. Reed Sr., along with his brothers John and Joseph, became the owners of several pieces of property in 1886, 1890, and 1891. So it's sort of hard to tell, what went with which son. But that included the property that had been owned by their father Samuel, the parcel that came from John Pairson. David Scott Reed Sr. was born in 1852, the son of Samuel and Jane Wallace Reed. I'm sorry, David Scott Reed, is that what I said? The son of Samuel and Jane Wallace Reed. His occupation was listed as farmer, Valley Grove. The year prior to his death in 1929, when he was nearly 77, he filed a will, and I love this. In part it reads, residing about 2 miles south of Valley Grove on the Valley Grove and Middle Creek Road, he left his wife, Daisy V. Reed, exclusive use of that part of the dwelling house occupied at the time of my death by me and my said wife as a residence, including the joint use of the bathroom.
Oh, wow. Yeah, hot stuff.
She also got an annual annuity of $200, $50 installment each quarter. In 1950, the widow Daisy Reed transferred the property to her son David S. Reed Jr., and it appears that may have been their only child. His 1916 Penn State yearbook, I found, shows his picture along with his academic accomplishments and future goals. So this will be online for you all to see, but I'd like to read the little snippet that went with his picture. It says he was, excuse me, an agronomy major. He went by Davy. It shows him as living in Claysville, which we're pretty close to. So he was a chemistry shark who came to us, that's at Penn State, graduating at W&J, which would be Washington and Jefferson. He has the uncanny faculty of getting results in physics with doubtful instruments. His shy disposition makes him hard to be observed. He may often be found wandering around the college farms. Davy says that he expects to put his chemistry to work on the farm and therefore use less horses. So there we go. He registered for the draft in World War I. His registration describes him of medium height and build, black hair, brown eyes. He served in the U.S. Army from October of 1917 until December of 1918, rising to the rank of corporal. Following his death, his widow, Dora Reed, applied for a veteran's headstone for his place of rest in the West Alexander Cemetery. I think most of the other relatives, the Reed relatives, may be there as well. Have you gone to that cemetery? Yes. Okay, good. His registration for World War II draft is also available online, although it does not appear that he served in World War II. Described him as 5 feet 8 inches tall, 170 pounds, with blue eyes, brown hair, and a light complexion. An added note indicates long scars on the top of left arm and underneath. According to the 1940 census, David Reed Jr. worked 76 hours on his farm the week prior to the census being taken. And according to the 1950 census, he worked 92 hours a week on the farm. That sounds pretty typical of a farmer, I would say. His grandson, who was the son of his daughter, grandson's name was Page David Hunt. He lived from 1942 to 2014. And the grandson's wife, Jane, became the owners in 1980. And in 1986, Daniel J. and Robin M. Golaski purchased the property for $79,000, thus ending the Reed family ownership, which had lasted more than 100 years. Lisa and Tom Hrutke purchased the property, at that time 13.5 acres, from the Golaskis in late 2001, and they probably have worked that many hours since then.
Today.
Just today. Okay. And they have been rehabilitating it since then, and with that, I will turn this over to them to describe a little bit about what they've done and what their plans are.
Okay.
There you are.
Alrighty. Okay. We purchased the farm in 2001. It's now just 13.5 acres in size. And when we bought it, the house was painted chocolate brown and and had aluminum white replacement windows and a redwood deck on the front. So, yeah. When we went in and looked around, we looked at 2 farms that night, and this was the first one we looked at. They had already pulled up carpeting or whatever had been on the kitchen floor and had redone the kitchen sometime in the 80s, I think. And when I saw the floor, I fell in love with the house, and I had to have this house. So yeah, the rest of it, oh my gosh, yeah, everything else was carpeted with Brady Bunch orange shag carpeting. Yeah, it was just great. All I can say is thank you to all the prior owners that they always kept a good roof on it, because the house was in wonderful shape otherwise.
Except the windows. They replaced the windows with aluminum, and that didn't go very well when we tried to do historical significance.
Yeah.
That's our biggest downfall.
Preservationists will say that replacement windows are named that because pretty soon you're going to have to replace them again. So,
Then we put the 6/6 in vinyl that we had.
we did those.
And then we'll get to a little bit later, but the coal mine just come through, and we have a lot of damage. So everything right now is sitting about 6 to 8 inches like this. And we'll show you some of that stuff inside. The blue tape that you see everywhere is damage that we've been marking for architects and engineers and people and so forth.
You also lost your pond, is that right?
Yes, lost the pond.
Twin springs.
Those springs.
Spring there and a spring out back. If you go out on the porch later, you'll see the other spring where the spring house used to be. They're dried up.
From the coal mine or the drought?
Coal mine.
Yeah.
Did you get any compensation from that?
We haven't
We're still-
finalized.
Under negotiation with them. Yeah, they went under us last Labor Day, and we were told we had to wait about a year before we could start doing renovations and doing repairs and everything, because things could still be separate. And things are still moving a little bit, but
Yeah,
yeah.
so you'll
So
see
the springs
active
were
cracks.
gone, like,
Come
right
see us
away.
in a year.
They've been
We'll
gone
see
for
what it
years.
is. I don't know. We're waiting.
Okay, well, we're a pretty big group, so as we go in, I will go with Joanne, who's behind the camera. Thank you, Joanne, and we'll switch over so that I'm holding the camera, or,
I'll take it if need be.
aha, Brother Jim will hold the camera. Okay, that's great.
Sorry.
And I will walk through, but we'll let Jim be closest to you, so when you make comments, your voice will be picked up by that.
Okay. There's a book inside on the kitchen table that you can look through. Years and years of photos.
Shows before, yeah. the
27-year retired fireman down at the city, paramedic as a captain, and 27 years of that. Raising that boy out there is parking your car. One of them, the other one's a nurse.
Yes,
And we have 2 cats. I think they're both inside, Murray and Sissy.
yes.
And you want them kept inside?
No.
They can do what they want.
We'll probably scare them. But I don't know if we'll all fit through there. We have 1 air conditioner, folks. Obviously, the house doesn't have air conditioning. At night, we monitor the thermometer, and we open windows, close windows, fans, and you'll find out it's a lot better in there than out here.
Yeah, yeah, that's not bad.
Welcome to go in the basement. I didn't clean up anything in the basement, but you can see stuff down there. There's plumb bulbs down there that you'll see. There's a plumb bulb right here. You seen that I sprayed the car off and all the water missed the drain? That's one of the major problems we have. It ran underneath the refrigerator. So everything's like this as you walk through, you'll see it. Yeah, some people will feel it.
Yeah, we're used to it now.
All right, Jim Cochran behind the camera, if you'll follow these folks, and the rest of us can do our thing.
You can't see through the front door because the front door is still moving and it's actually kind of swollen shut
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
We went to Farm to Fork and met these people. Lisa just joined a group and we were asked to do this tour. We're not here to badmouth anybody. Some people said, oh, we want to see some of that. Well, if you turn around and see the window, how it's cracked, that's indicative of everything on this side of the house we found. The windows are messed up, the windows won't align. That's what you see in mine damage. You can see that the plumb bulb is an inch off, and we had to jack this door open. The first day that it happened, the front door won't open, that's why you're coming this way. Okay, Lisa, I'm gonna let you talk. I'll just turn the lights on.
Oh, thank you. This part of the house we added on. Yeah, we lived in here for 11 years and did the renovations as we lived here, and we kind of did it room by room, but we added this addition onto the back. And really, we have surprisingly minor damage in the addition. We really kind of thought that was going to be a problem because it's on concrete, and yeah, and we thought that it wasn't going to be as forgiving as the sandstone foundation is for the original part of the house. But yeah, we've got like some like blistered areas up in here. You can see like in the drywall, cracked that tile down there. Just it's kind of minor things in here, but yeah, we'll get into more major stuff. Yeah.
Doors,
Yeah.
doors.
That won't- yeah, this door just
It's
shut.
falling. It's falling to the fall of the
And then it
house.
sticks. It's just hits the tile and stops.
Just it's the way it is.
So Lisa, is this the molding in here, or is this the molding?
This is all new. Yeah, well, newer. Yeah, we did this. Yeah, we did this part, but we had the molding milled to match the other molding that was in the house.
Lisa, you lead and get going. I'll get it.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, this is the living room we added on. Yes. Yeah, right here where we're standing, there was a very small enclosed back porch that was kind of hanging off of the house. This window was painted over. This whole wall had been an exterior wall, and it was under about 12 coats of paint. My husband and I stripped it. Yeah, that was an endeavor, and we didn't know what to do about the window because we thought, well, if we take the window out and we brick this, the brick is never going to match. And yeah, and in the kitchen, like there were appliances and cabinets in front of it. And so we figured, well, when we do the kitchen, we're gonna, because it was the last room to be done, we're gonna rearrange things so that we can open that.
Oh, it
And
looks,
just
yeah,
open it.
it's perfect that
It's,
way.
it's weird. It's strange when it's an exterior window and it's, you know,
No,
like,
it looks good.
yeah, but we figured it was the best thing to do with it.
Yeah.
But just kind of minor things through here. We've got like some splits in here. There's some blistering over here. There's some cracks in the brick wall, but they're really kind of hard to see. You have to kind of be up on a ladder to see those ones. This crack was here.
Online you can't tell, but it is significantly cooler in here than outside.
Oh, yeah.
Even without air conditioning.
Even without air conditioning, yeah, it'll stay relatively cool. It's pretty good. Okay, this room was here. So yeah, this is part of the original rear of the house. And it's got its share of cracks and damages too. All of the fireplaces were, when we got here, brick fronts and brick hearths that were built up about 12 inches. And there was a wood burning stove in here. We yanked all that out and got it back and found mantles that looked like they were probably close to what would be the period of the house and stripped them and put those in. So yeah, so we did all that. You can see some of that in the book with all the 4 pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, where I'm in here, you know, chiseling the bricks out and stuff.
This is part of the original house, this room?
This room was on it's actually an addition also, but it's an old addition.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah. What else can I tell you about in here? Just, you know, little cracks. Yeah, this is a spiral stairway that goes up to the back bedroom up there. This is just a closet. It's where the cabinet works is.
Oh, and a nice porch out here too.
Yes, we added that, but yeah, obviously we added all that on too. There was one little tiny porch right here off of this door because this door was huge. And it wasn't that door, but yeah. I got that door to match the door that we had on the front.
Nice.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell by the thickness of that doorway how thick the brick walls are in this house. And yeah, I mean it's. Yeah, I mean that's. Yeah, I know. That's probably framed. Yes, they framed it for us. So good. Yeah, he's a wonderful artist. Yeah, wonderful.
Which should I do? Take to the kitchen or the hall?
Whatever you prefer. It's your house. Okay.
I want to sit on the couch and yell at her, and she won't be able to.
Okay, so this
And then Tommy,
is
my
actually the
contractor,
old
said that
original part of the house. Yes, because the original part of the original house was 4 rooms, this room, the dining room, and the 2 bedrooms above this room and above the dining room. And that was it, original. This is
love the floor.
that made me want to buy this house.
Oh my goodness. The floors are gorgeous.
Yeah, we've had several different people give us opinions on what type of wood this is. The majority have said it's chestnut, but there's a mixture of woods, because every once in a while you'll see a board that's like, oh, that's not chestnut, that looks like, you know.
I'll bet it came from the farm.
Yes, it was all right here, yes. Yeah, but, yeah, this is why I bought the house. So, yeah, and minor damage in here. It's when we get to the low end of the house that we see a lot of damage, and that's sissy. I love it. Oh, thank you, thank you.
Now, Lisa, you said you had not redone the kitchen.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. It was the last room we did, so it was then probably 12 or 13 years ago.
So you are going to be that window.
Oh, yes, oh, yeah. We refinished everything. Our contractor gave us a little bit of a hard time, because the countertop had to sit lower there to make it below the window frame, and I said, that's fine. That's because I'm very, and that's the place where I can roll out pie dough, roll out cookies, and I mean, you know, I'm not reaching up. It's perfect.
Good.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful floor.
This whole wall was behind drywall. Except for here, there was some cabinetry that they had built in here, and it was beadboard, so that's one of the reasons why we decided to do beadboard cabinets. But yeah, the chimney was behind there, the fireplace was behind there, all of this was behind drywall. Yeah. This was an adventure, this was, and supporting the horse.
Is it functional?
No, sadly, the vent from the furnace goes up through that chimney. So even if we did open it, there's like the
Yeah.
cement pipe.
And is there
Like galvanized stuff.
history behind the milk bottles?
No,
That's okay.
I bought it from Pottery Barn.
Okay.
Well, we do have some old ones here, some milk bottles, but yeah, those ones aren't. Sadly. I'll turn on the light here for you. Yeah, this is not the door for the house. This is what the mine put in there for us, because our door wouldn't open and close anymore once the house settled. But now you can start to see more damage. This is all cracked up, and yeah. So
they were mining around here.
Yes, we got one more mining a year ago. Yeah.
Are they covering
Which
it?
is why Gene wanted to come and help them. Yes, they're going to. We're still negotiating, but yeah, where they are right now, yeah, I think they're being fair with us. I think so. I'm not unhappy. I think we'll be able to repair things. I don't know if you guys can feel. Yeah, I can't do that. I'm used to it. But it's,
Well, a house is old. I mean, there are many newer houses that are worse than this. Yeah.
you just can't like spill anything on the carpet.
Yeah, well.
And this was all one shank.
How long have you been?
23 years.
Oh, wow. So the radiators, they work?
Oh, yeah, they work.
Good.
That's our heat. Yes.
Ours too. Like the radiator.
I love them. It's nice.
Yeah, it's a really nice heat.
We
I
don't
mean,
have one in the kitchen because there was one in there, but we ended up taking it out because it's the boiler's right beneath that floor.
Right.
And there's no subfloor beneath it. So, yeah, the heat comes right up through. I mean, it's, yeah.
it's amazing how efficient they are. I mean, you turn them on and in no time, with that radiant heat, it's just wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not blowing on you like that forced air.
Are we able to?
Yeah, if you want to, sure. Feel free. Go ahead.
The beds are made?
What's that? This is the original room also. Yeah, this floor was under carpet, and there was linoleum underneath the carpet, and yeah, it needed a lot of work, but yeah, and again, it had another one of the brick fireplaces, and we chiseled all that out, came up with something that looked like it was probably suited the age of the house. Yeah.
And you can see the damage there, definitely.
Yeah. And some good cracks back here. These were probably not original to the house. These, we call them bump outs. They were grills. And they were supported with timbers just up against the foundation of the house. And then on the bottom, and they were kind of sagging and starting to come down the house. So we put footing beneath these and built foundation up on them.
They're not
So it didn't have that. So now they're ready. Yeah, they were here when we got here. So I'm figuring sometime in the Victorian period era, somebody wanted to snazz up the house and we wanted these, to look stylish. This probably wasn't the original plan. So, but it's original to us now. Yeah, and big part of it is, we have a mixture of plaster and, drywall. Yeah, sorry, I was stuck on that. Yeah, this back behind you is plaster. So, we're going to put plaster and get all these things.
How cool
It was like, what, 2 minutes before I was
I've probably eaten a lot of drywall dust and brick mortar and yeah, it's always everywhere in here.
Yeah.
And this was a functional fireplace, but the chimney had like fallen off years ago, so she's cut off a bit of it. But it was a working fireplace. How long have you been like
Yeah, probably.
The flow glue, the china in that closet.
Beautiful. Yeah, my mother has a collection too. Yeah, I love it. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. What else? I guess we can venture upstairs. My husband and I were back and forth when we were doing the stairs. These were like really dark brown, the spindles, and he really wanted me to paint them white, and I didn't want to. So I said, let me paint them black. I think you'll like it. So it's kind of unique because most people don't have black spindles. I liked it. This is some pretty serious damage. And cracks all through the ceiling and that way. Yeah. This had originally been a window, I think. This was already back here when we were here. This is that old edition. But this we think was originally a window, so it's kind of an odd step. It's kind of a high step. Yeah. Let's go back here.
Okay.
Okay, so this little room and this bedroom next to it were here when we got here. But this bedroom was like sagging off the house. And we found out that there was a chimney in the corner here that was covered over with plaster and drywall that had no support down beneath it, which explained why it was sinking. So yeah, when we did the demo on the old porch down there, we demoed this too, but we rebuilt it the exact same size. So yeah, and now it's amazing. Yeah, so this is actually new, but it replaced the old one. These, I don't know if you saw any of the boards downstairs, some of them said wheeling, and these were actually in the cabinets in our kitchen. The cabinets that we tore out and put the new cabinets in, they had the beadboard doors on them and everything. They wasted nothing. They must have used these packing crates as the backs and the insides, because when we tore those out, we found these, and I said, oh, we have to save those, because I thought that was cool. But anyway. Oh, you found Sissy? Okay. This bedroom took a lot of damage. This is part of the old addition. The floor in here is poplar. We weren't sure why, but when we ended up stripping this floor, we found it was poplar. It's not the same as the other floors in the house. It just is so beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of cracks over in here, over here. yeah, there are cracks in almost every wall in here. And we've lost a little bit of plaster in the stairwell. It's kind of chipping and kind of loose there.
And and Jim, your little friend over here.
Oh,
Yeah, this is Sissy. Yes.
Show her that, Sissy.
She's polydactyl. And she's got 7 toes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Extra. She's got thumbs.
It's like Ernest Hemingway's cat.
They are. Yeah, they're Hemingway cats.
Are they? Yeah.
When we were at Hemingway, they're brother and sister. They're from the same litter.
Yeah. Cool.
Does he have a 7 toes too? He has 6.
Where you say about Galaski.
Yeah.
My best friend is a Galaski.
They were at a cat rescue place. Backstreet Cat Rescue.
That's where I, it's Gulajask. All right, thank you. I thought I was gonna find her something else.
Yeah, this, of course, this fireplace is here. It's non-functional either. This is the one that's, yeah. Chimney's but actually these mantles upstairs here, in this room and in this one of the other front rooms, were rescued from a house that burned down Wheeling
And the summer covers were beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I don't see where it comes from. I do. And I wonder about that.
Okay.
I kind of wanted to see where it comes from.
And almost the same.
I have a couple that we just left there, like that white color.
Right.
This side I like that better.
Yeah, I like them more
And the
natural.
metallics, I think, actually are better for the heat generation too, than having them painted colors.
Ours had been painted and some of it's chipping.
Yeah, they start to peel off.
Yes. To take them out sandblast and that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
This is where the stairs were downstairs.
Where are you
In
flying?
the what?
Well, I'm flying into North Carolina, South Carolina.
Is that area that you located?
No, that's just the closet that goes up, that's attic access.
Wow.
Yeah, but these were the doors that, you know, that were the first ones that we found, the milk pans.
Nice.
And I just fell in love with them. Beautiful. And that's milk paint too, weird color.
Now, why is it called milk paint? Do you know?
I think you used to buy some sort of powder in the hardware store or whatever at the time, and had the pigments and whatever in it, and you mixed it with milk.
Huh.
I guess.
I've never heard of that.
That's different than chalk paint, or is that the same?
I don't know.
Okay, because chalk paint I'm familiar with, which is usually a satin type of finish. It's not just shiny.
I've never seen any for a I had to varnish them because we had stripped everything else off of them. And yeah, kind of looked that, but you couldn't get that color off. So we found out.
So you work with it.
Yeah, so we went to the okay, go back to the main part of the house again.
I haven't seen it myself.
Watch your step because that's that funny step. So this is back to the original part of the house again. And lots of damage up in here. We have windows here in the front that we can't close all the way. So we had to add like a lot of weather stripping and stuff this winter because, you know, keep the heat in and all that. This is the master bedroom. We took a few hits in here too. Yeah, it's not as bad as the other bedroom, but it's the master bedroom. There's a chimney. Yeah, we still had more long-term plans for the house. There's a chimney back behind this wall, which is why we never went ahead and put doors on these
Yeah.
closets. Of course, you know, 23 years later, we're still here with curtains. Yeah, but when we're going to redo here now to you know, get all these repairs done, we're going to go ahead and tear this wall out and open it.
So you get the
that
chimney. Yeah.
and expose that fireplace, and we'll get like some sort of built-in cabinets to
Yeah.
service closets or whatever in there instead of using the curtains. So, the doors are, this door is interesting. This is, we have 3 of these. These are original. They're like engineered. And whoever somebody decided to do this, what do they call it?
Graining?
Yeah, graining, thank you, to do graining on it. I stripped one of them, and that door is over here, you get to see it, it's really nice, but these doors were held together with wooden pegs. I mean, they're ancient, these doors are ancient, so, yes. And I have another one on, still stripping out of the garage.
Excuse me. Excuse me, I need to get in front of you.
Go ahead. They're pretty dark in here. And we used a lot of dark colors because I had two sons. And somebody tall can reach the light up there. I think that's the light. Yes, thank you. Okay. Thank you. I usually call on that. Yeah, so this was our younger son, the one who's doing valet parking. This was his room. And it's so dark in here, it's really kind of hard to see the cracks. But there are cracks in the plaster up here above the windows, crack over there, cracks below the windows. And these windows, if you look at them, you can tell they don't line up correctly. We had to add like where they're stripping and stuff because they don't close to it.
Oh, yeah, there's a big one over here.
Yeah, and a big crack there, and there's a crack here in this wall. This was all behind drywall, and they had like a closet over here. Oh, yeah. So tore all that out, found the fireplace. This is from the year now, from the fire also. And yeah, we kind of, every time I expose a brick wall, I don't want to cover it back up again. And I know that wasn't what they did in the 1820s, but yeah,
It looks
we
great.
like it, so yeah, I think it makes like a nice accent wall. Yeah, it's so neat. Yep, it's cracked there too. Yes.
You know, a much newer house than this, those
You can
cracks
feel
would
this
not
too.
be unusual.
Oh, no, it wouldn't be. And I'm grateful. We have neighbors whose houses were destroyed, and they'll have to raise them. And I keep thinking, you know, as sad as I am about what's happened here, and I know it'll never be exactly the same because it's on a level, I think this house was tough and it withstood the forces better than anything else in the neighborhood. Probably because it's just so well built. It's just really well built. That's the door I stripped. That had the graining on it. Stripped that one. Yeah, it's ancient. I've done a lot of furniture stripping in my day, and I mean, I had never stripped anything that had like wooden pegs holding stuff together. It was pretty cool. So I thought that was interesting. And I looked at it and see that's why. Yes.
Wow, that's another sad thing.
I know. Let's not even. We can't even talk about that.
Charlie was born in there. He's really upset that they're tearing down his house.
And this is the upstairs bathroom. And again, I exposed the brick wall and fell in love with it. This one was an interior wall though, Peirson. You know, so brick is like irregular, but I liked it. And so we just kind of cleaned up the joints and rejoined things.
And was the tub here, did you say?
No.
Okay.
There was a really long, like platform cast iron tub in here. It was really bad, but I thought, well, I want another cast iron tub.
Yeah.
And I'm short, so this 4-foot tub is perfect for me. I didn't need one long enough to be able to tow the island.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my thing.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Can we take a quick look out the back?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay.
We'll let Jim follow you.
Okay.
I'll follow Jim. Okay.
I love the circle.
Oh, the back of the house, like the yard and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Somebody in the basement. Isn't that cute down there? Yeah. Want to head out? Yeah, I want to. We're gonna head out this way. You want to go out?
Ooh,
And we have
how pleasant.
this one too. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad.
Oh, how nice.
No, that's the ruins of the spring house. The spring house was over there, and it did have a very good spring running in it, but gone now. Yeah.
So even, now this year is particularly dry, but even last year when it wasn't so dry,
As soon as the mine went under, it's stopped.
they're gone.
Yeah, it's done. It's
All
done.
right. Lisa, thank you very much. And this is the end of our tour, and we hope you enjoyed it and join us next week. Good night.